Hi, this is Diego and Veronica here. And this is Kame, our floating home. So look at that. Living on a sailboat is quite an adventure, one definitely worth sharing. We hope that you enjoy this journey with us as we are slowly adapting to a life in flow.
Today is October 2nd, but not for this guy. For this guy, it's December 25th. He got all his new toys. Here's Santa Claus.
Yeah, I came into my sleigh last night.
Nice. Say something about your toys.
What did I tell you? I told you this antenna is for something else.
Yeah,
We really have to have an argument at the beginning.
Oh, the kid is complaining already? Oh, these kids today are so spoiled. This is our new guest, and he brought a gift. Hi.
Yeah. I know Diego's all into the electronic charts, but sometimes old school, it makes me feel good when I know exactly where I am as we're crossing an ocean. So this is the whole windward and the leeward islands and going up to Puerto Rico, and we're right about, let's see, we're on this one right here, right in that little harbor.
Nice.
Right in that little harbor down at the bottom. So I think we're going to go from here to here to here and to there, and then scoot up to
Ponce.
Yeah. Well, we can go in on the other side. I don't know if there's harbors up there.
There is, but I was told by someone who lives there that the one is not that good.
Better on this side.
Better. Alright.
What are we doing, guys?
I'm doing lunch.
Yeah.
Cappy, what are we doing?
Okay,
Copy.
so what we're working on is we're trying to connect this AIS transceiver. AIS is a device that will show us where all the other boats are out on the water, and it'll show to them where we are on the water, and it shows it on the chart plotter. So this device here is supposed to be mounted somewhere out of the way, but since we don't have exactly the right tools to do all that, we're going to just set it up here on the counter and run some wires through a hole that was already here, and hopefully we can get it all to operate from right here. It's a great device. It's kind of like an electronic radar. You can see where all the other boats are. It's pretty cool. So today is just let's see if we can hook it up and get the things to interface and work. And once that happens, then we can decide where we're going to mount the antenna, where we're going to hide all the wires. So it's kind of exciting to be able to add that. It's a critical piece of equipment that's going to be great on board.
That you brought. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I had to sneak it on the plane. He sent me back out. He goes, "You gotta open that box.
Oh.
Go back out and come back in."
One of the great things about having an extra crew.
They figure out new stuff.
Yes.
See, I consider myself super lazy. Any way to do things easier is good with me. So this is my bed, and it's beautiful. And there's two mattresses, which are right here, that go on there. But I gotta tell you, if the mattresses are there and you're trying to put a fitted sheet on it while you're crawling on the mattress, it's almost impossible to do it. So I said, well, let me make the bed with the 2 mattresses right here, put the fitted sheets on and everything, and see what happens. Because I have this idea that if I do this, here's my bed, all made really. Get them in the right position here.
Shake that out.
Okay, you ready for this one?
Yes.
Ah.
So nice.
Made.
So what's happening?
So we're here. I'll shut this. Kind of noisy. So we're still trying. Nice. We're still trying to decide with this generator that you use to generate electricity, to charge the batteries, to run the air conditioner, do a lot of things. If there's some way that we can not need the fuel pump for it, which is sitting under my bed.
What's the problem then?
It's super noisy. The little fuel pump goes all night, and it's right under my pillow. So we're trying to see, is the fuel pump even necessary once the engine has been set up and configured and the lines are all charged with diesel and everything. I imagine when they first put the motor in and you got 40 feet of empty fuel line, they needed that little pump to fill the fuel lines up to the engine, purge all the air bubbles out. But now that it's here, the systems are supposed to be totally sealed, so there should not suck any more air bubbles back in it. So we're just running it without the electric pump in the back of the boat to see if it starves for fuel after a few minutes.
How long has it been?
It's probably been on for about 10 minutes now.
Okay.
So if 15 goes through, we gonna test it fully tonight.
Yeah, we'll just unplug that thing
Yeah.
while I'm sleeping and see what happens.
We just plug it into start and then we unplug it. We know that it goes through because it can be running 10 minutes, I think, with diesel that it's only on the line. So by that way, we determine that the external fuel pump, it's for
Look that way.
it's for priming, and it's not necessary to be continually running. And we can put a switch on the side and
Yeah, how much easier to put a switch than to start cutting diesel lines and making a mess in the boat and getting air bubbles in there and all of that headache.
absolutely.
You guys were getting ready already, getting the rags and everything.
Whatever it needs to be destroyed, we are ready. Whatever we need to cut lines and spill things.
Do they sell chainsaws at the hardware store? We just need a chainsaw.
One for each.
Let's
How
go,
about
baby.
me?
Hey, so we had a good sail today. We're anchored out front, maybe a mile offshore. It was relatively calm because it's an offshore breeze. I slept good. Princess over here couldn't sleep. Gotta get him some medication or something, right?
Probably.
And then Vero, you did a super job driving all the way back in, missing the reefs, coming back all the way up. We motored all the way back because it was dead upwind.
Not just missing the reefs.
Well, that's the most important part.
No, but the catamaran
And then there was some little sailboats farting around the bend that kept cutting right across our bows, and at one point they kind of hollered at us in some language, probably French, and we think it means, hey douchebag, get out of the way. And so we had to do a U-turn. We actually had to do a U-turn in the channel to let them cross our bow. So it was kind of funny. It was a good exercise actually to see how the boat handles.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it was and then we came up to the mooring balls, and it's pretty windy today, blowing upwards of 25 and more in the gusts. So
Yeah, we got 35 on the channel.
so as you can see, the boats are very, very close together. You don't have a couple boat lengths between each mooring ball, and so we had to come in super carefully right up behind here and pick this mooring ball up without touching the boat right behind us. And with a boat this big, there's so much windage that if you kind of turn a little bit, all of a sudden it gets out of control fast. But
Oh, we
Vero
did
did a good
great.
job bringing us up straight into it. I did a little bit of and so we did a good teamwork. Diego was able to snag the mooring balls with no pressure, no rushing, no nothing. Easy, hold it right in place.
And it was your first time maneuvering now. and you did
The
great.
boat maneuver's easy. I read the manual.
Nice, we did a good job.
Woo! Okay.
Oh, you're on.
Hey, good morning. So it's Thursday, October 7th. Nice to see you all out there. We're counting down the projects to get ready to shove off at a La Marin.
From Le Marin.
Okay. And we're down to just a couple more projects. We've been quite productive the past few days. It's been a whole lot of fun. Today's ideal because it's a little cloudy, a little sprinkly, so it's not so hot. We'll make it easier. So the projects we still got on deck to do is to load the satellite communicator with the proper software and register it and all that, so then we will be able to receive weather data information when we're offshore, not near a cell tower or anything like that. So that's the last piece of electronics to do. And then we're just working on, today, trying to relocate a small little diesel fuel pump which goes under my bed all night long.
Which is in starboard.
Yeah,
aft.
so I'm over on the starboard aft bedroom, and that little pump is under there, and that little pump feeds the it feeds the generator that creates the electricity to run the air conditioner when it's super hot. So the princess here has to have air conditioning once it gets over 65 degrees outside.
It's freaking hot. I think we all need it. I'm
Yeah,
a princess too in
I
this
just like
case.
teasing- I just like teasing her. Anyway, so that little pump is underneath my bed, and we put a plan together where we're just going to remove the pump from the fuel line, connect the fuel line together with a little piece that goes in between, put the cable clamps on it, and then bring the pump forward closer to the front of the boat, closer to the actual generator, and then reinstall the pump down there, so it's like 25 feet away from my bed, and that should be manageable then. You know, it'll be way off in the distance making those little noises.
And that's option A. You guys tried option B yesterday, but what happened?
Yeah, so option B was we thought that maybe the pump was only needed initially when they installed the fuel lines and they were all empty, full of air, and so they put that pump there to charge the lines with the diesel fuel all the way up to the generator up front, which is 4 or 5 feet above the level of the tank. So we started the motor and then shut off the pump to see if the motor's internal fuel pump could continue to suck the fuel through once it was running, and apparently it doesn't. So it ran for about an hour, which probably was the amount of fuel that's in the fuel filter up there and the bowl and all that kind of stuff. And so after an hour it shut off, it starved for fuel, which means we got to put the pump back in. It needs it to run. So yeah,
Yeah.
and we'll move that forward. Now we don't use that pump all the time. It's only when it's super hot and we want to dry the boat out and get some air conditioning.
Chris, you're natural. You don't have an accent like us. You look straight to the camera. We both are like awkward in camera, and we don't know where to look. And I don't like to show my face. So you're natural. You're hired.
Okay. And where do you want me to send the invoice, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then,
Talk to my agent.
yeah. And then
I told you.
Yeah.
I'm receiving a call from his agent now.
my people talk to people. So the other couple of small tasks we have to do is we're going to make another grocery store provisioning run just to get the stuff we like to eat and all of that. And then the big one, the one that's going to be the choker, is ending up going up to the fuel dock and topping off the big diesel tanks here. And fuel's not cheap, and the tanks are big, so we have the what's that heart palpitation machine to put the paddles on him when he gets the bill for the fuel. Wake him back up, and a defibrillator.
Have the defibrillator in hand when they.
Yeah, anyone see Diego? Oh, he's fainted. He's out back there when he's watching the gas pump prices, right? Anyway, so we're really down to just a couple, 3, 4 things to get done, and then we can just pick our departure time. And then the plan, I might have said this earlier in other videos, is the plan is to hopscotch up the side of Martinique and end up in Fort-de-France for a little bit, and then head up a little bit further north. So we're just going to do day sails up the coast before we make the jump across the channel to get up to Guadeloupe. So that might be our first overnight sail, or maybe we'll be able to go ahead and just drop a hook for a night. What's the next island? It's not Dominica?
Dominica.
It is Dominica, okay.
Not Dominican Republic, it's Dominica. Dominica is just.
Yeah, so it's an island that's between Martinique and between Guadeloupe, which are the 2 French islands, and the one in between is something else. So we're not really allowed to go on shore there without doing the whole COVID test and all of that crazy stuff. So we go from France to France. We don't have to do anything, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's where we are. And,
Awesome.
just a few days away now from actually dropping the mooring ball for the very last time.
Nice.
Nice.
Excellent. Anything to add?
No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that we tried the leaf pump, we tried Ocean Bay. It would have been wonderful if it worked. It didn't. Yeah, the generator, internal fuel pump, start. And one of the reasons is because the fuel tanks are 3, 4, 5 feet under the level of the generator. This could work, you know, without just with gravity. If there was a little tank or it was at the same level or above the generator, but because it's so much lower, we need a lift pump.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Need the flashlight?
Maybe. Quite used. Oh, no. Yeah, kind of flashlight. Let me do the pulling. And Vero can do the feeding.
No, I just had to find it because there's a whole bunch of stuff here.
Yeah.
So here it is, the low pressure pump to move the diesel through, and of course this was the problem.
That little thing is what creates all that noise.
Yep.
And it's inside it. It's not because of vibration from...
No, it's a pump that it's metal to metal, so that's the problem. Yes.
So let me get in there.
It's interesting that they had a cutout there like they were going to put something there.
The boat is full of those for putting more and more and more stuff.
Okay.
So let me get right there. Get right there. Chris.
So what's going on if you're filming there is we've now moved the noisy little pump that was mounted right there next to where I sleep forward below the floorboards way up there. And now we're just securing all of the rest of the hardware that we had to move around under there. So Captain's mounting it properly. Once that's mounted there, we will do the test where we turn it on and make sure it pumps everything.
Then nothing
Yeah,
leaks.
without pre-drilling that hole, it's gonna be hard to get that screw in there.
Yeah. Can you bring me the drills?
Yeah.
You want me to hold one, lean in there, and you put it in place? I'll hold it for you. Yeah.
So now that he stepped out, I can show the filter. So that's the filter. He attached on this side, where before it was right next to the tank on this side. And you couldn't access it at all. But now, if you need to do anything with it, it's easier to access. It pierced a hole on the other side of the bed frame. Let's see if I can show it.
It stopped pumping.
There.
Yeah.
I didn't go to see.
So the screw came through, we put a piece of cork, and that's it. You never really step here. This is the side of the bed. Nice.
So biggest
It's
problem
in there.
was vibration. It was attached to.
Let's see.
It's not making any more noise. But, I mean, once it builds up the pressure and sucks all the air through, it might start again.
Oh. Oh wow. Nothing's leaking. Everything good.
Good. All good.
Wow. Yeah, it doesn't make any sound. So it was the vibration.
Well, I think once it sucks all the air through,
It might start.
then it'll be able to build up pressure again, and then it might make noise when there's more pressure.
Hmm.